Simpsons Hit and Run on the PlayStation 2. Yes, hello everybody, I am Jack and I am yet another Let's Player here on YouTube because you can never have too many. So with the horrors of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 out of the way, hi Dr. Nick! It is now time for a good game for a change. This is The Simpsons Hit and Run for the PlayStation 2. Also released on the Gamecube, Xbox and PC in 2004 and widely hailed as the greatest Simpsons video game ever created. And if you wait around on the title screen long enough, other characters will appear. It's actually one of those games where, depending on the time of year, this screen will change. There's a Halloween setting, there's a Christmas one, I think there's a Thanksgiving one. You can see we got a bunch of things we can do here. We have our options, which is the city. We can still see the wasp camera that Homer has destroyed. Got our bonus tracks. We'll be seeing those later on. We can start a new game, we can resume game, our load one is the video player, and we have our scrapbook. I am starting a new game, so none of that makes none of that has any meaning. Yes, I do want to start. I don't have any unsafe progress, thank you very much. So, let us begin our new Simpsons journey.
Hey, hey! I'm endorsing a new cola, kids! And this one isn't poisonous to anybody!
That we know of.
New and improved Buzz Cola is made from only the finest sugars and waters. Plus, it has a special ingredient, too hot for the FDA. It'll give you the get up and go you need to do all the pathetic stuff you have to do. Try new improved Buzz Cola.
Cola. Must get Buzz Cola.
I will say that I do find it rather surprising that they went for Buzz Cola instead of Duff Beer. Because Buzz Cola's only ever appeared in like 2 episodes. And yeah, these are the loading screens, they're newspapers. October 25th, local man ruins hot dog eating contest. Disqualified for vomiting. And a study shows that 90% of video games start... No, Bart, this is my job. Start with an easy tutorial level. Yeah, that was Bart. For the first level, just about everything you do, Bart will show up and he'll give you a tutorial. This is a Let's Play, so Bart, don't interrupt. That's my job. If this was simply a no commentary walkthrough, then yeah, by all means. But this is my job. I usually do keep those on though, even though I know almost all of them off by heart. And I was like, alright, player 1, Homer. Use a directional button and left analog stick to move around. This is called walking. Press the X button to jump and hold down the circle button to run. Anytime you're in the air, hit jump again to get a little extra push. Got it? So yeah, we can move around, we can double jump. Circle is run. Triangle is pretty much your action button. You can interact with things like this. I don't even remember the Simpsons. No, they do have swings. I love the swing! And you can kick. You can also kick in the air, and then you have your powerful... That's pretty much like twice the damage. This thing... excuse me. This thing, if I can get up there, is a collector card. There's 7 of these hidden in every level. They're all a reference to a previous episode. So that's our homemade football. I forget what episode that is. Wait, if you go to the pause menu, you can view cards. This is the homemade football from Homer at the Bat. A pet project Homer is forced to abandon so he can work on his magic bat. And it often comes with a quote made from the characters in the episode. Yeah, I got a magic bat too. And I got an enchanted jockstrap. Yeah, it's a nice little callback to other episodes. By the way, if it ever looks like I'm just freezing and not doing anything, this PS2 controller is practically dead. So, the pause button is really delayed, and sometimes I may end up pausing and then all of a sudden it will unpause. There's nothing I can do about it at the moment. Anything that's glowing is what's known as a gag. So you press the triangle button to activate that, give you a coin. That's anything. Any gags that are glowing are the ones that you haven't activated yet. So there's 15 in this level. If we go to our pause menu, level progress. So we have 7 story missions in every level. This one technically has 8. 1 bonus mission, 3 street races, 7 collector cards, 3 character clothings, 5 vehicles plus the one that we start the level with, and a secret one that's completely optional. 20 wasp cameras, and the number of gags will vary from level to level. Sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 11, on one time it's 6. And we have 7 levels in all. Now you may have noticed we've been collecting these little golden things. And this is a wasp camera. Now coins are used, unsurprisingly, to buy stuff. Now at first it's not so bad, but I can tell you, that is, firstly I can tell you that I don't think I've ever destroyed one of those with a double jump attack before. And the other thing I can tell you is that while it's very easy to buy things at the moment, by the time you get to around level 4, everything starts to become really quite expensive. And yeah, the wasps do sting you. They may not be real wasps, but they still sting. And so everything becomes rather expensive when you get to level 5. And when you get to level 6, it all starts to become really expensive. You are going to be grinding. You are going to be grinding a lot. So this is not going to be a 100% run, because the amount of grinding you have to do is insane for the last 2 levels. Everything gets way too expensive, where you can grab just about every single coin possible in the level to buy 1 object. Like 1 car. But you still have like 3 other cars to buy and 3 items of clothing. So before we start the mission, I'm just going around to collect everything around here. You'll find coins scattered around the level. They're only here once. Pick them up and they're permanently gone. You can kick certain objects. Like that. We're in Flanders Garden now. Those kids are messed up. Never again will you ever hear a child say, "Yay, the rapture!" Flanders kids are messed in the head. I'm not sure if that's bad parenting or good parenting. It's hard to say with Ned. His kids are not very bright. Yeah, the characters will very quickly begin to get tired when you run around. It doesn't take much, especially with Homer. The characters don't actually control any differently. You take control of 4 characters in this game, 5 characters, but they all control exactly the same. So if they're like their double jump attack like that might look different, its strength is exactly the same. And we're actually in the Wiggum house now. Or the Wiggum's back garden, I should say. And these things are everywhere. I mean, there's 20 in a level, so they're going to be everywhere. Now with certain characters, if they're ones that you're familiar with, you can usually talk to them. Okay, you guys probably can't hear that. I think my tummy leaked. Yeah, depending on the character, well, they'll say different things. Most of the time when your playable character talks to them, what they say doesn't really make any sense. You know, it's not like Homer's going to be talking directly to Ralph. If you're playing as Marge, you can do the same thing and just go, "Hi there, Mr. Smiles!" Which is really quite odd. Yeah, there's also other characters around here. Oh, look, those 2 kids are identical. So The Simpsons Hit and Run is essentially Grand Theft Auto 3. It was released at the time where The Simpsons, they were all trying to parody other games. We had The Simpsons Road Rage, which was Crazy Taxi, and it is really raining out there now. That came out of nowhere. We had The Simpsons Skateboarding, which is pretty much mimicking Tony Hawk, only, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with at least skateboarding's notoriety. They're not good games. I have the displeasure of owning both of them. And this is pretty much Grand Theft Auto 3. Why is it Hit and Run? Well, we'll get to that later. For now, I'd say let's talk to Marge so we can begin our very first mission.
Homie, somebody ate every dessert in the house. I need you to run to the store and pick up some of that ice cream with the miniature pies in it.
Well, it must have been one of our kids. Probably Milhouse.
Homer, Milhouse is not one of your kids. He's one of your kids' friends. Alright, our first mission, the Cola Caper. Go to the Quickie Mart and purchase some ice cream and cola. And that's pretty much it. We can get into our car by pressing the triangle button. There's one thing I didn't do, I forgot to do, but we can do that in a second. But we're going to show off when we get to the Quickie Mart. So, we have a number of vehicles we can drive. The first one we start off with is the family sedan. And for some reason they made it a tradition to lose the roof on this thing for all the video games. This thing doesn't have a roof in Road Rage either. I mean, none of them have a roof in Road Rage, but I don't know why they decided to get rid of the roof for this. Because I know this car has a roof. It does in every other game, so why doesn't this one? Let's see if I can park this normally. This doesn't look normal, but this is probably better than my parking. Not that it makes a difference because we're on a slope and the slightest incline will cause your car to go backwards. In fact, if I can turn the camera to face it, we can just make out that the tire is actually moving backwards. So, any building that's got a glow around its door, that's a building you can enter. And we're now inside the Quickie Mart. There's also gags in here as well. Gags in buildings don't glow, so you sort of just got to approach something and hope it's a gag. Yeah, Jasper Beardley's in here. He's Frostelicus. They make references to all sorts of things here. Oh. Well, Jimbo, Kearney, and Dolph were stealing things, but they don't seem to be doing that anymore. Some gags can only be activated when you're not in a mission. Usually ones that are technically movies, so there's only one that we can't do at the moment. So let's just talk to Apu so we can activate it.
Hey, Apu, give me a cola and I need another bucket of ice cream with mini pies.
What happened to the ice cream with mini pies your wife bought this morning?
Oh, I probably ate it. I don't remember stuff too good.
Fortunately, that's very true. Right, here it is.
Congratulations, Homer. Mission complete. Go back home and talk to Mom to start the next mission.
Want to keep doing my job there, Bart? But yeah, now we can. Sadly, this money doesn't count as coins. I don't know why. But yeah, some gags that you can't activate during missions are these ones because they're technically cutscenes. Let's play. I say we play Larry the Looter. Remember this? That game has appeared in like 3 episodes, and that's as far as anybody ever gets with it. I don't even remember the Quickie Mart having arcade games. Maybe in 1 episode, but I'm not sure which one. Set off the alarm. I can't make out what the guy in the alarm is saying though. I think that appears somewhere else, but I don't remember where. I don't think it was in this particular level. We have our squishy machine which goes crazy and explodes. Now, Apu, don't have any affairs with the squishy lady. I think this is before No, I think Manchula was a character at this point. Okay, we can talk to Apu again. And whenever you come across these things in certain buildings, this is your character clothing. Now, we're in level 1, so I should have enough money to buy everything eventually. As you see, at the moment everything's pretty cheap. You can get... It's all very easy. It's when you get to around level 4 is when it starts to get quite bad. The costumes don't do anything, they're simply there for a laugh. So we have our chosen one. I forget the names of these episodes. This is where Homer joined the Stonecutters. We do. So I never remember the names of all the episodes. I mean, there's like almost... I think there's 598 at the moment. So season 28 will contain the 600th episode, which is crazy. We have our Moo Moo from King Sized Homer, where he became very fat. And we have just casual Homer in his underwear. That's what I'm going to buy now. Oh, in fact, I can buy 2 costumes. So, let's get our Moo Moo. We're just a little bit short. There's plenty of coins outside. Let's stay in our Moo Moo outfit for now. We've suddenly gained even more weight. And you can't run when you're inside buildings. So by this point you've probably noticed that we have a radar. See my car slides down. So you may have noticed we had a radar, but just before I get to that, we have a duff truck parked out here. Now it has this thing that you can press and it makes it rise and go back down again. I'm not sure why that's there considering we can just double jump our way up. Anything that has steam coming out of it is a vent that'll push you. and you can use it to get to extra height, although sometimes they do serve as an obstacle. The Buzz Cola crate, anything with Buzz Cola on it gives you a lot of coins. So you can find those crates hidden around everywhere. Much like the coins that you get from just wandering around, those Buzz Cola crates, once they're broken, they're gone forever. So you can't use them to grind or anything. And now we have a crab juice from City of New York versus Homer Simpson. One of the more recent episodes of the time this game came out. Well, not really. I mean, Season 9. This game came out in 2004, so it's probably around Season 14, 15, something around that. You can just find some random coins. Depending on the level, there may be a wasp here in a later one. Sometimes there isn't. It varies from level to level. There are 3 different areas of Springfield that you can explore. There are 7 levels. This is pretty much the suburban area of Springfield. So we have Evergreen Terrace, we have the school, the Quickie Mart. These are the only objects that you can break and that don't come back. We have the retirement home there, the school, the power plant. We have the poor part of Springfield, where the likes of Cletus, Moe, and Nelson live. And we have the rich side of Springfield as well. So that's Burns' mansion, Quimby's mansion, all that sort of stuff. And we can make our way to the Stonecutter's Lodge. We also have, and this is where levels 1, 4, and 7 are set. Levels 2 and 6 take place in downtown Springfield. We have this, and levels 2 and 5. Levels 3 and 6 take place in around the Squidport area and up towards the observatory and the Springfield Dam. So, you know, we're not exploring the entirety of Springfield in one area. I do think that would have been pretty cool, but no, we're limited to 3 separate areas. But I think these worlds themselves are still pretty big, which is nice. And the layout can change sometimes depending on what level you're actually doing. So Homer doesn't have access to Burns' mansion. There is like a little way you can get into his back garden, but in terms of actually going into the mansion, that is a level 4 exclusive. And then level 7 cuts out about half of this area, so it's quite limited. Now you may have noticed this radar at the bottom here. Now, not only does that tell you where our objective is, like you can see Marge is this bluing dot right here. You're the yellow arrow, and your car is the blue arrow. Hey, this is a phone box. This is where you can make your car appear, should you want to. You can also see all the other cars that you haven't unlocked in this particular level yet. Already gives you their stats, which is nice. If your car does take enough damage and it will explode, it will cost 10 coins for you to repair it, or you can find one of those these glowing things right here. This is a spanner. Is the correct name for those in Britain. Or if you want, go by what they call it here, a wrench. Any cars on the road, you can also pretty much hijack them. I mean, the driver's still in there, so it's not quite the Grand Theft Auto route, but you can take over any of these cars and they'll then be classified as your car. But just before we talk to Marge, I want to go inside the house. So you can only go inside certain buildings. You can't go in Flanders' house or anything like that. We have a gag here, and this is one of the areas where if you approach it, something random will happen. Like in this case, Grandpa's just walked in. He's into the dog's food bowl and thinks he's seen a leprechaun. That will change depending on what you're doing, and sometimes it can change depending on the level. Because when we're here again in level 4, we're playing as Marge, and Homer can sometimes be in the back. We don't see him, but we can hear him. And we can turn on the TV. Where for some reason, it only ever says 2 things, and both of them are Kent Brockman's quotes from The Simpsons skateboarding. All the Simpsons games you could possibly reference, why did you have to reference that one? But still. Now, the mission we just did, the Cola Caper, is a tutorial mission, and for some reason, I have no idea why, you will never ever be able to play that mission again on your current save file. it will always be there when you start a new save file, but you can never replay it. Because if we actually go to our level progress, it still says 0 out of 7 story missions complete. It still counts towards level progress, but like the total completion, but it doesn't appear in story missions. We can never do it again. So this time, this is technically the official first mission of the game. But I still don't like that. Simple as it is, I kind of wish you could still replay it.
Homie, Lisa left for school without her science project. Can you get it to her?
Oh, do I have to?
You can drop it off on the way to work.
And I have to go to work?
I always love those character interactions. Sometimes they're just there for the sake of moving on with the mission, but I still like them. But anyway, our first proper mission, SMRT, and that's not SMART. Race Principal Skinner to the school and give Lisa her science project. Don't ask me why we're racing Principal Skinner. Oh, I was already stood where the science project was. But yeah, it was like it was a model of the human digestive system. This is our first race mission. There's going to be quite a few of these. And this is we now have the music that you're going to be hearing for about half of the missions in this game, and I love this music so much. This game's soundtrack is awesome. I kind of wish there were a few more pieces of music for the missions, but I love the ones we have. These races get really close towards the end of the game, but thankfully at the moment this is only our first mission. I know all the shortcuts, and the cars are still relatively slow, even though Skinner's is technically a faster car. Yeah, at the moment the missions are still really easy. If we enter the school, during missions the music will actually keep playing, but it sometimes depends on the mission. Like we still had the regular Quickie Mart music in the first mission, but I don't think that one has its own music. But we do in this one. Sometimes when you walk up to here, Willie will just stare at you. He didn't this time. We have Ralph here, who I'm not sure what he's doing. He's sticking crayons up his nose. This is another one that will change. Sometimes it might be he's drinking paint or something, and he'll just say, "My pee came out." Oh no, that's gross. His legs are clipping through his outfit. Sometimes Burns and Smithers are stealing something, and sometimes it's like Willie just walks and steps on a rake, a la Sideshow Bob. And it's like, "Oh, come on, you mockers!" We have a gag here. "Remain calm, students. All's well at school. My authority as principal is totaled." I'm gonna make out what he says. Now, even though we've raced Principal Skinner, he's already here. You can speak to him right now. Just by continually pressing this thing. He has a few quotes. It will start to repeat itself. And we can activate that. This doesn't count as a gag. The fire extinguisher does. So, let's talk to Lisa.
Thanks for bringing me my model of the digestive system. Hey, where's the gallbladder?
I got hungry and it was a fig.
It was modeling clay.
Oh.
By the way, Dad, Mom called. She says she needs to talk to you at home before you go to work.
Oh! I'm so talented and looking.
Alright, that concludes our first proper mission. So even though we were on our way to work, we now have to go back. Because we are no longer on our way to work. We have to go back home. So, where are we? We're at the 24-minute mark. I think just before we go. Actually, let's do this. So, there are 3 street races, but you also have this. This is technically race 4. If we talk to Louis here, we never do see Fat Tony in the game. And we have the wager race, which are also known as time trial races. Complete an entire lap before time runs out to win coins. So you do have to pay to enter these races. And they have a target time. It also shows your best time. Difficulty is a matter of which car you're driving. Unfortunately, they don't really think about it when it comes into later races. So eventually, even though a car will be classified as medium difficulty, by the time you get to the last few levels, it's impossible to complete the race in that car. And it's not even classified as hard difficulty. Depending on the difficulty, the higher the difficulty, the larger the payout. Very simple. Nothing is cut off. You can take all of the shortcuts you want, unlike the street races, where they do limit where you can go. But these, well, Bart pretty much describes these as putting the hammer down and drive. This is where you really want to go if you want to grind for coins. It's not perfect, because at the same time you do have to keep paying coins, and if you end up failing the race more than succeeding it, you're losing coins faster than you are gaining them. But now we can just briefly show off Springfield. You know, we're in the Stonecutter's Tunnel. Always plays the Four Seasons. So you can just hear, and bizarrely it leads into the power plant. Can I make it? Yep. Okay. I often end up mistiming that. And when we exit the power plant, we enter a parking lot, and that takes us, the sun's now in my eyes with the rain go, that now takes us to the poor part of Springfield. So we have the tobacco plants for some reason. There's no drug addicted sheep. I'm not sure what it's doing there. Now you can drive over that tire fire, but I can't do that. Because I didn't have enough momentum going, and sometimes a car just can't make it. You take this shortcut here, but the ground is a bit awkward to make your way across. Try not to run over too many people. That yellow meter down there, that is your hit and run meter. Once that thing is completely full, the police are called in. And, well, you can tell instantly that it's not Chief Wiggum who's in charge. Because these police actually do something. In fact, they cause more destruction than you do. In fact, while it's the game's main gimmick, I hate the hit and run gimmick. And what really annoys me is, if you knock into a car, it fills up your hit and run meter. You know, that I'm fine with. It's when the car runs into you. Now, if I'm just standing still normally, okay, fine. But when you're doing, there are certain missions later on where you have to follow cars in order to make your way somewhere. If that one knocks into you, you're given the charge. Your meter fills up, and it can even be a matter that they're being even more destructive than you are, because they can do whatever they want. There are missions where you need to avoid somebody who will constantly try and ram into you, and you are the one who has to take charge for it. It fills up your hit and run meter. Yet for some reason, missions where you have to destroy a car, or missions where you have to knock into a car to obtain something, perfectly fine. It doesn't fill up anything. Why do the avoid missions, where they're trying to ram into you, fill up your meter? That's something I just don't get. But anyway, that will conclude part 1, so let's enter the school playground for part 2 of the Simpsons Hit and Run Let's Play. I will see you guys then.